Mikey, it's so lovely to see you and to talk about this fantastic movie. I was saying I watched it first thing in the morning, which is probably not the ideal time of day to watch it, but it is such a trip and it's such a fantastic achievement. I wanted to ask you about your emotions the first time you watched it, because it must have been quite an emotional experience when you put so much of yourself into this role.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm very happy to be here. Also, yes, I agree. It is, I mean, I do love a matinee, but it's sort of strange walking out of a movie theater and it's still daylight out. And you're like, I feel like it should be dark right now. Yeah, the first time I saw the film was just a couple days before Cannes. I wanted to see it, just get my eyes on it before, that big screening room with, a couple thousand people in it. And the first time I saw it, I mean, it's so strange. I think I was really nervous on the drive over there because I was just really hoping that I did my job the way I was supposed to, and that I, did my character justice. So the first time watching it, I think there's so many things happening in my mind. I was like, I feel like I need to see it again because I almost I wasn't able to digest everything. And so I think upon watching it the second time at Cannes, I was able to see it more like an audience member as opposed to just like a critical person watching yourself in a film. But really, I don't see much of myself in the character. It's really not me at all. So it's easier for me to watch it that way.
Amy is wonderful, though. She's such a spitfire. She's incredible. She's got so much.
Annie,
I'm so sorry, Annie.
Okay.
She's got so much going on. She is so, she's so clever. She's so brave, and she's got this incredible kind of core of steel where she is. She is in no way bowed by everything that happens to her. She rolls with the punches. She gets on with it. Is it something that you said you're not similar to that, but that must be something that you respect as an artist?
Yeah, well, I mean, she to me is always someone who, she's such a fighter. She's very scrappy. She speaks her mind. She stands up for herself. And so I certainly admire that in a character. I think there have definitely been times in my life where I haven't stood up for myself and I should have, or I've just been more passive, whereas Annie's a character who isn't. She really fights for what she believes in. She fights for the life that she feels she deserves. And so I liked playing a character like that. I think that quality is kind of envious.
I wanted to talk to you about the sort of preparation that you did for the role. And watching you on screen, you have this incredible physicality. The dancing is, even though we don't see a huge amount of you performing, the times that we do see you, you just can't take your eyes off you. Mm. Tell me a bit about how you kind of got into that space and everything that you trained for.
Well, thank you. Yeah. The physicality of the character is so important for her because she's a dancer. She's a sex worker. She's professional and really good at what she does. And I had high hopes for what I might be able to accomplish. And so I did pretty intensive dance training, and just training in general. I was working out twice a day, really trying to just get my strength up so that I could hold myself up on the pole, and that everything, I wanted to have that kind of stamina to keep up that dancers kind of need to have to be able to be on your feet dancing all night. A job that's very physically demanding and also emotionally demanding as well. So there was a lot I needed to do and learn, and it really gave me a dancer's body as well. All of this training that I did, I even installed a pole in my living room so that I could just every handful of hours go down and practice and keep doing more conditioning so that my movements were effortless. I didn't want anything to seem strenuous at all. Even the hardest thing, like going upside down on the pole, which I really, really wanted to do. It looks so easy, but it took me months to be able to do something like that. So yeah, I mean, it's the hardest thing I've ever done physically. I have so much respect for strippers.
Yeah.
And what they do, because it's such a difficult job in so many ways, and they make it look so effortless and sexy, and so a lot of effort went into making it look easy.
I think I did a pole dancing class for a hen do once, about 10 years ago.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I have never ached as much as I did the next day. And I had bruises all over my leg. And I mean, I didn't get anywhere close to what you guys were doing. I mean, it's physically very, very difficult, but you did make it look effortless. Have you kept the pole since you've stopped?
I have it, but it's in my closet. I mean, it was so hard, and the bruises. People don't realize the bruises that you get on like the inside of your knee and like your elbow. I had so many bruises just from the training, and it burns too. The pole, because you have to really like grip onto it like with your inner thighs, and like that skin is like very delicate and sensitive. And so you're like gripping onto this pole and it burns and you have like red marks all over your body. And so I was like, I'm going to put this away and I'm just going to keep doing my Pilates or whatever I do.
Slightly lower, slightly less impactful.
Yeah.
Is this the pole that your dad had to take possession of? They dropped it at the house, I was reading.
Oh, well, I was on location filming something and I really wanted to have the pole ready right when I got home so that I, have as much time as possible to work on my skills, my dancing skills, and take classes. So I asked my dad to go pick it up, and I was like, can you please just install this thing in my house? And he did, and he's so sweet, and he didn't really ask any questions. And
I presume he's seen the movie now, obviously.
yeah, he has. He's seen the movie multiple times. He loves it.
I would be very proud of you. I think you look incredible in it. It's honestly, it's a wonderful piece of work.
Thank you.
I mean, the Russian as well. I hear that you put a lot of effort into learning Russian to the point where you're able to understand. Obviously, your character doesn't necessarily want to speak a lot of Russian at the beginning, but she's able to understand it and she's able to speak it. How difficult was that? Because that is my best friend did that at uni, and it is a hard language to learn.
Really?
It's really difficult.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a very complicated language. And I didn't speak any other languages previously. I mean, I still like. It's not a language that I know fluently by any means. But to learn it for the film, it was quite an undertaking. But it was fun, to do something like that. To immerse myself in so many different worlds that are foreign than mine. I really loved the exploration of it. But yeah, I had 2 months to learn as much Russian as possible and really understand what I was saying. I wanted to understand what the other actors were saying because my character is a fluent Russian speaker.
Yeah.
She speaks it with an American accent, which is very purposeful. But she does speak it and she understands it. So there was a lot I needed to do, and it was very interesting. There's so many sounds that Russian people make that
rolled R's, right?
Doesn't come naturally. Like for us, we just have never like moved our mouths in that kind of way, and the sound really resonates, and it's from a different part of your body. So it was so interesting to do that. Yeah.
I thought you sounded wonderful. I obviously don't speak Russian, but it sounded pretty good to me.
Thank you.
I always think with actors, you must have the most incredible CVs with all the different things that you learn to do. And now you can add obviously pole dancing, Russian speaking, it must be lovely.
My Brooklyn accent.
The Brooklyn accent. But to be able to expand your, as grown-ups, I always think when you pass school age, you don't really get to learn a lot of new stuff. And I think it is so healthy for your brain to be able to pick up new skills and to learn new things. And it must be something in your job that you really enjoy doing.
It's true. I think of myself as, I always want to feel like a student, because I think that with acting or just like creating in general, I don't think you ever can really get to a place where like, oh, I'm good. I don't need to learn anything else. I think I always want to be like refining my craft and my, I don't know, what I love in some kind of way. And so I think every year there's something I get to learn, but I really am interested in seeking out those roles where I get to do something I've never done before. On this film, I also did so much research into the sex work community, which is a community I honestly knew very little about. And so that's been one of the most incredible things that has come from this film, is the amazing women I've been able to meet and the friends I've made.
You had a screening for them, right? Like, well, there was like a special screening just for people that had helped you kind of research and to help the team research.
Yeah. So it was sort of just a celebration, and a lot of incredible people from that community came out and just filled 2 movie theaters. We did one in Los Angeles and we did one in New York, and it was just wonderful. It was just a celebration of that community, and Lindsay Normington and Luna, who are in the film, a lot of their friends in their community were able to come out and celebrate them as well. And so it was wonderful. And the reaction and the response that we received from those screenings was so, so beautiful, and exactly more than what I was hoping for.
It must be nice for them to see their world portrayed in a nuanced way, rather than, there's a lot of movies that show that world and they show it in a very sort of black and white sense, and all the women as victims or all the women as predators or whatever. To see them, I really liked the scene where at the beginning where you're kind of eating your lunch and and he comes in and he's like, right, we need someone that can speak Russian. And you're like, no, it was you could see there's a real camaraderie with the girls there, which I thought came across really nicely. And I imagine that is something that they spoke to you about.
Oh, yeah. I talking to the consultants and women and shadowing dancers at clubs, and even just shooting in that location, like that, the dressing room that is shot in the film was all of the girls' dressing room in real life. And so while we were making the movie, and so we're all hanging out there, getting to know each other. The relationships that I made, I think, really echo the relationships that you see on screen. Annie talking with her coworkers. I just wanted it to all be very lived in. I wanted it to be honest. And, Sean has dedicated a lot of his career to trying to help destigmatize that kind of work. And he's interested in telling stories from that community in an honest way. He's not interested in sensationalizing it or
that more salacious viewpoint.
Or dramatizing it in a negative way. This is just someone who happens to be a sex worker, and this is their life, and this is what it's like, and nobody is just one thing. Like, it's just someone's job, but they're a person. And I don't know, there's just so many nuances to that life. And I'm really, really happy with the way that we were able to portray it. It's not, you can never portray like a universal experience. It's just from one person's point of view. It's just from Annie's eyes, where you get to see her and her life. But I'm really happy with the way that we were able to portray her and her work, because to me, from all of my research, it felt really honest.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's so true about the universality of, you can't tell everyone's story. You can only tell one story, but you've told it so beautifully in this.
Thanks.
Obviously, there has been so much hype around this movie. Congratulations on your many nominations, including your Academy Award nomination, which must be so exciting. I hear that you FaceTimed your entire family and your dog when you heard.
Yes, I did. Yeah. I was just gonna sleep, but then my manager was like, I think it will feel more real if you watch it, if it happens and you watch it and you get to see your name read. And I'm glad I did, because it was kind of a special moment. And
did you cry?
No, I didn't. What my mom did though, and my dad.
And the dog.
My dog's like, I don't care. I don't know what's going on. I'm just a dog. But for me, it's like, I think there's definitely a part of myself that stops me from getting too excited or too hopeful about things. Like, I'm always kind of waiting for like the rug to be pulled out from under me, which I think is maybe a universal feeling. Maybe other people feel that way, but I think it takes me a while to really like process something and then understand how I feel, which is strange because in my work it's the total opposite. Like, I feel things immediately and so grandly and big, but in my life it's so different. But it was shocking and exciting, but it also didn't feel quite real, you know? It's a very like surreal feeling. Does that make sense?
It does make perfect sense. And it's so interesting that you have that side of yourself that comes out in your roles and when you're working, and actually it's kind of, maybe it's like self-protective that you don't, you know, that you're very different in real life.
I think so.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense to me. Obviously, we've got, what is it, just a month to go before the Oscars.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Are you sort of on a whirlwind tour before then? Are you getting any chance to kind of rest and take it all in before the big day?
You know, it's all a new experience for me. I've never done anything like this before. And so it's a lot of like go, going to lots of places, lots of events and, you know, meeting people. And it's a very interesting part of this whole thing. So I'm kind of just taking everything day by day, but, you know, not much rest, but that's okay because I'll have time for that another time. But while I'm here in London, my best friend is also working here right now. And so she's had like a couple sleepovers at my hotel. And that's been really nice because, I don't know, you know, just to have your best
just
friend
to hang
with you.
out.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
So that's been something really
What are you going to
nice.
do while you're in town? Have you got any plans? You want to go and see something? Is this presumably not your first time in London? But
No, I've been here a handful of times and I love it here. It's wonderful. I don't know how much time I have this particular trip, but I'll be back in about a week or so. And so I'm hoping to see, I have a friend who's doing a play here. I think that opens pretty soon. And so hopefully I'll be able to see that. And I don't know. The other day, my friend and I took like an hour-long walk, just walking around London. It's so beautiful and the weather's like chilly and amazing. And my LA soul was like, I love like a change in weather. It's so nice. So I don't know. I don't know about anything specific, just kind of enjoying the location. Do you think, what do you think I should do?
I think you should 100% go and just walk around the parks. I love the parks here. Go to Hampstead Heath.
Okay.
You probably don't have your dog with you. I have a dog and I live near Hampstead Heath and I walk on there all the time and it's so beautiful. You can see the view of the city. It's gorgeous. I would recommend if you've got the time, go to Hampstead Heath.
Oh, yeah,
I would say that. I'm a North Londoner, but yes. But it was lovely to talk to you, Mikey. I'm so sorry we can't have longer. I would love to talk to you longer. But huge congratulations on this wonderful film and huge good luck for awards season. Not that you need it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's lovely speaking with you.